some pop-up streams maybe on Instagram occasionally. I usually stream through OBS Studio to split the stream and send it to both YouTube and Facebook. I've tried using some of the, oh, thank you, Tycho. Tycho wants me to whisper. I've tried using some of the things like Restream and whatnot, and I've had lots of issues with them. So since those groups were telling me to send it through OBS Studio first, I had to do all of the work manually, and I couldn't use a lot of the features of their tools. Paying $20 a month for a tool that was going to do something I could do manually did not make a lot of sense. So I'm not using those tools anymore. So I've been going direct through OBS Studio. And I figured that, today I was actually having problems with YouTube trying to join into the stream. So I bailed on OBS and I'm streaming off of 2 devices, which is why we've got a vertical stream for Facebook and a horizontal stream for YouTube. So I know on Facebook, I've got on Facebook, I'm off of a cell phone that I've mounted horizontally, and on, oops, where did my comments go? Show comments and reactions. There we go. And on YouTube, I'm on a horizontal webcam. So yeah, so we're back. But yeah, it does make sense with the Pope's funeral on that may be impacting things. Yeah. Oh my goodness, but so glad folks are rejoining us on YouTube. Sorry about the delay there, folks. That's frustrating. It's super, super frustrating for us as well because we're trying to put out some good content and we start having things jam up on us. Hi, Cecile. So glad to see you in live. Hi, Nancy. Yes, that's Tycho on screen. Yeah. Cecile, I never understand why Facebook seems to want to hide some of your comments, so I'm always having to unhide them. But Raising Cane's a mod, so she can help me out that if you do comment and you don't see it right away, it may be that we've got to hit an unhide button. Sometimes changes that. Hi, Linda. Yes, we are now actually streaming at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Right now it's 12 Mountain Standard Time. We've been going for, well, a little under an hour. We've had some technical difficulties today. So yeah, we are on Facebook and YouTube right now. Hi, Logan. So good, Logan. Yes. Tycho's out there telling us to whisper. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, but I love that Cecile comments so often. I always make sure that we read her comments, respond to them. Linda just sent us 200 stars. So awesome. Stars were not working for us last week, so it is so good to see that they've started working again. Yeah, technology issues are super frustrating. So I want to talk a little bit about one of the videos we did this week. It was actually 2 video set. Started talking about it earlier, but I think that the technical difficulties got in the way. But last week was Easter, so we saved a bit of content for this week. I know, we just had so much good stuff to share. But with Easter, we wanted to focus a little bit on some of the spring Easter themes. That was fun. But we went for a walk last week in Fish Creek Park. We were out with Max and we thought, hey, how about we stop here and go for a walk? And Max was okay with it. He'd been in the car for a bit and said, yeah, let's stretch our legs. This will feel good. And he went to see what was there. Now, Fish Creek Park is actually Tycho's usual stomping grounds. Tycho loves walking through parks. Does not like walking through residential nearly as much. He's got pretty good taste. Can't say I blame him. He likes to see parks. Max likes to see people. But when I was walking through Fish Creek Park, I ran into a juvenile moose. Now, it's not uncommon to see wildlife in Fish Creek Park, but a moose, this is not something you see every day. I mean, I may live in Alberta, but I don't see moose that often. Plural of moose is moose. I don't see moose that often. And it was really, really quite something to run into a juvenile moose who was just hanging out, nibbling on some pussy willows and some fresh shoots. It was amazing. And I was a good, safe distance away, folks. Always with wildlife, make sure you're a good, safe distance away. I was well up the hill on the pathway. There were a lot of other people around, so it seemed like it was a good place to film from. And I got some footage with Max and the moose and with the moose. And what was really, really funny is when we were standing here watching this juvenile moose and just marveling with the nature, I had somebody who was standing here filming Max. Now, this is not unusual. People are standing here taking pictures of Max. And they said, now that's something you don't see any day. And I said, no, it's a real treat. Now, they must have thought that I must be really conceited or something, because we were talking about two different things. And they said, yeah, how amazing just to come walking to run into the most amazing animal. I said, I know, like this is a true treat. How often do you see a juvenile moose? And the person stopped and looked at me and said, moose? I'm talking about your bird. Oh. And this person said, where's the moose? And I pointed, and she said, oh, there's a moose. So, I mean, it was really humbling to remind me just the way I'm talking about the moose is the way that people sometimes talk about Max encounter. So that was pretty cool. But when I was watching the moose, I was reminded. Now, if you grew up in Canada in the 60s or 70s, even if you were an adult, if you turned on the TV, you would occasionally have these clips put out by the Canadian government. They'd be played on film strips, sometimes in schools. They were all around, and they were called Hinterland Who's Who. And they would always start off, back in the 70s, things are super grainy for film, right? I mean, these are the old film strips. You can just almost hear the chatter of the film strip. But they were called Hinterland's Who's Who. And you'd see Hinterland's Who's Who, the beaver. And it would be a very short clip talking about the beaver. And the narrator would always speak. The beaver. Natural in streams. He'll swim along and he will build a dam. It was just sort of all this low key, and it always had this really, really iconic flute music. Now, I don't have a flute here, and I've not played the flute probably in about 40 years. I did play flute 1 year in school because we were sort of half year band, half year drama. But yeah, there was, this iconic flute. And, I was thinking about that when I was watching the moose. I could just hear Hinterland's Who's Who cue off saying the moose in the stream. And I thought, oh my gosh, this would be so fun to do something that's a bit of a takeoff on Hinterland's Who's Who, this nostalgia kick, but do it with Max and the moose. So we released that on Friday as a regular video. It's a little shorter than our regular video, but that's what's with the Hinterland's Who's Who and the sort of grainy, slow-paced, different approach. I was giggling the whole time I was making that. I was especially giggling at the end. Did anybody catch the end? You normally have the end having this flash up of National Film Board of Canada So of course I had to do a takeoff on that utilizing Max's channel. And oh my gosh, I had so much fun making that. I was giggling the whole time. Now, what I'm super curious about, did you grow up in Canada? Do you remember those? I mean, did I just give you a punch in the gut with nostalgia? If you're not from Canada, did you have something like that from where you're from? You know, and did you enjoy it? Like, was that something just, oh, I know I should whisper, Tycho. Was that something totally different? Yeah, I don't do the different things all the time, but I do try to tuck them in on occasion. They are an awful lot of fun. Raising Cain remembers the film strips. Kids don't get those anymore. No, they've got, you know, they've got monitors in the classroom now. Yeah, the film strips, the teachers would always have a hard time setting them up. They had that chatter of the film, and the film would get munched by the projector. They'd have to clip a little bit off. Occasionally it would sort of spin and just sort of chatter, and the frames would be out. But yeah, oh my gosh, those are fun memories. But yeah, no, that's what we did there on the Friday video. But we sort of were thinking sort of when to release that one, because Fridays we don't get as much interaction, and we don't want to disappoint anybody. We like to keep our content fairly static. We want to have a lot of fun with our content. But I figured that Friday I was planning on going down to Expo, so I'd have some extra footage coming off of that to share off. So especially on Facebook, I mean, I was tossing up some regular posts all day, and those are easier to see. YouTube, I was also tossing up some posts on, YouTube has something called Community Channel. And the Community Channel right now, it's a way for me to add a post, and you can add a comment. They're working on something on YouTube which is going to give it a real community feel, where we can have a channel where others can post to it as well. You know, we can say our followers can post or what have you, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be really fun and interactive. But yeah, we try to communicate with folks as much as possible. We try to share parts of our lives. We try to share the flock with you. So on that note, we are thinking about going down to Expo to Ghost again, either this evening or maybe tomorrow. And we've got the Super Bird bandana. Can anybody think of something that would go well at a fan expo that's not too complicated, that would work well on a bandana? So Spider-Man, way too complicated for me. This is actually beyond what I thought I was capable of, but you can see that it's you know, it's a simple logo, fairly simple colors. It has pop. I've actually got a bunch of colored felt that I can do something with. I was thinking about the Ghostbuster logo. That one might be a little bit difficult. You know, a few of my friends have suggested maybe do Star Trek or Star Wars. But what would you like to see Max wear to the expo if we go again today or tomorrow? Do you have any ideas? Toss it up. Toss it up. Yes, folks, that beeping in the background was a call coming in on my phone that I was ignoring. I thought I had the volume down, but maybe it interrupted a bit. Oh, you know what it was? I have it on vibrate. So that was probably causing the beeping. Carrie says Ghostbusters would be awesome. And the logo's kind of difficult. So I don't know if I'm capable of doing that logo. But I mean, I could try. And I mean, even if I don't get it done for Expo, it's something I could work on for later. Yeah. Yeah, what I think would be really fun is something that's really, really awesome, really fun. You know, something that's not just niche. I want something that either ties in with a bird in a really cool way, or something that's instantly recognizable to even people who may not be super fans. But yeah. And if I go down to Expo again, are you okay with seeing more Expo footage this coming week? Is that okay with folks? Yeah? Oh my goodness, Carrie, the best comment ever. Carrie says, now all I can think of is The Simpsons when they spoofed them with Troy McClure, which was the Hinterlands Who's Who. Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. That is so much fun. So much fun. Yeah. Now we did 2 moose videos this week. We did one that was just a regular video, and one that was the Hinterlands Who's Who. Oh, Paul says the Calgary Flames logo. Yeah, that's not really Comic Expo, but it would be definitely fun. Batman logo could be a lot of fun. I saw a lot of Batman yesterday, Sharon. But I just did one superhero, so I'm thinking maybe something that's not necessarily a superhero. I don't know. I'm going in circles trying to come up with something, and it'll take me a few hours to sew it. Oh goodness, that coffee is good. That coffee is good. So Max is in his cage right now. He's decided it's nap time. It is so fun here, folks. Yeah, even Tycho thinks it's funny. Emily says, remember 4th grade science on Fridays we got loud going, Bill, 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 Nye the science guy. Oh, Emily, I missed out on all the Bill Nye the science guy stuff. I was in school in the 70s. Oh gosh, I just dated myself. Oh, they're taking my book fairs. They can't do that, Emily. Sharon made a comment about their neighbor would march up and down the sidewalk practicing his bagpipes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Raising Cane says oldest daughter played flute and 3 of her other kids played saxophone. Yeah, it would have been loud. Yeah, Emily, talking about the moose and talking about Max, it was so funny because we were having this conversation and I said, yeah, it is just amazing. And they must be looking at me thinking that I was super conceited or something, agreeing with them. It was amazing that they were seeing Max. Like, I'm not that forward. I mean, I would never say something like that to somebody who was talking about Max. I was talking about the moose. So yeah, that was so fun. So fun. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Yeah. Yeah. Tico's favorite word is whisper. Logan asks, what else is... Thank you, Tycho. Tycho is the bird of few words. Sometimes he thinks I'm too loud. Sometimes he thinks the flock is too loud. He'll also say, come here. Come on up. I want. He doesn't have to say what he wants because it's pretty clear, even if you're kind of dense, he wants whatever you're holding and whatever he's looking at. What else do you say, Tycho? He actually has quite a few words, and I always think about them after the stream, but he only uses them when he has something to say. Whisper. Whisper. He's got a number of different highs and hellos. He's got a really cute hi. That one's kind of cute. He's got a water drip. Yeah. No, it is kind of fun just having Tycho hang out for a few minutes on camera. Yeah, Jocelyn says, wear your new t-shirt there. Yeah, you could do that. That could be kind of fun. Back to the Future. Carrie, the Parade of Wonders actually had a certain DeLorean driving in it. And guests at the convention include a couple of guest actors from Back to the Future. So yeah, that would be kind of fun maybe. But Carrie, what would I do for Back to the Future? What would I do on a bandana to signal that? And it's got to be super simple and super easy to key off to people on what the fandom is. Thanks, Linda. Linda thinks you're cute, Tycho. Yeah, Tico's got the shyest high. It is super, super sweet. You know what I've got for you, Tycho? I made some popcorn the other day. Got popcorn. You want some popcorn? Here. Popcorn? Whoops. What I'm going to reuse this cup. I'm going to put the cup in there. There you go. Cup of popcorn. Would you like a bit more eggy, honey? I got a little scrap of eggy. Yeah. Pouring something into something that Tico's sitting on was not going to work too well. Do you want that? Oh, yeah. Oh, you want that one too? Oh, that one's bigger. Oops. Eggy? Eggy? Here. Want that eggy? Here. Eggy, take. You don't want that eggy. Okay. Well, it's up to you, honey. It's up to you entirely. I know. Those are just the scrappy bits of eggies. I know, Max. I know, Tico. It's so tough to be a bird. It really, really is. It's so tough, Tico. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the comments. We were chatting about various things. I know I was going squirrel, but we were also chatting about Comic Expo. Ooh, Flash Gordon Lightning logo. Something saying 1.21 gigawatts. Oh, that's so nice and geeky. Yoda. You know, Sylvia, Yoda would be oh so fun. But I don't know how I could do Yoda on a simple costume. It would have, you'd need the hood and you'd need the ears. And that one's pretty complex. I think that Yoda would have to be a hoodie, a full-blown hoodie with ears that are sewn into the hoodie. And I don't think I'd be able to make that in an hour or two. But yeah, love Yoda. Love Yoda. What do you think, Tico? I'm just going to hop back to YouTube. We got some people chatting about nostalgia. So after the stream, I want you to do me a favor. We're posting a video. It should be releasing right about now. I think it's releasing at about 12:15, if I scheduled it right. And it's about Max and the food truck. It shows the story of Max spotting the food truck, how he reacts to the one single French fry that he scores. He was pretty proud of himself. And when I go back to Expo, he's probably going to lead me right back to that same food truck and say, this is where the snacks are, Mom. But yeah, he definitely enjoyed that. Didn't you, Max? Well, folks. Nancy, so glad you joined us. Hi, Sandra. Ooh, Emily says Marty McFly orange hoodie. Yeah. Oh, the tuxedo? Yeah, we could do that. Paul, so glad you joined us today. Yeah, I think we're going to end the stream. But if you are in Calgary and you want to come join us outside of Expo and we go ghosting, keep an eye on community posts on YouTube and regular posts on Facebook On Facebook, make sure you subscribe to our Messenger channel. Maxwell, that was noisy. I know. But yeah, we are going to have some fun. Hi, Sandra. Yeah, but I think we're going to end the stream. And yeah, we're going to have lots of fun videos this week. I'm hearing that people want to see more videos from Comic Expo, so we will make that happen. And yeah, it's going to be a blast. But folks, make sure you check out today's videos too. There's 2 videos released today. One was released this morning of Max at Comic Expo. Did anybody see that one? Does anybody know what video that one is? And then there's the food truck video as well. So 2 videos. Yes, it was Max being bowed to by a knight and recognized as a king. I just love the video because Max even bows his head. It's almost as if conferring his blessing on the knight. It was just an iconic moment. And that's kind of fun that we get at Comic Expo, right, Betties? All right, folks, I want to wish you a wonderful afternoon. Stay warm no matter what you're doing. If you're in Calgary, there's lots of fun stuff to do. And we might even see you ghosting outside the expo. Bok, everybody. Carrie, Tycho would not appreciate going to a show like that at all. Tycho prefers nature to buildings, so downtown Calgary would not be fun. He prefers quiet to crowds. Events like Expo are always going to be crowded. Honestly, so much fun. All right, everybody, bok. Thank you for joining us. And thanks again, Sharon, for being our moderator, both on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for the super chats, the super stickers. Thank you, Black Cat, for blessing a few people with memberships over on YouTube. Thank you for the stars on Facebook. And thank you for being you. Bok, everybody. Oh, good job, guys.